All right, good evening. Well, it's me again. For those of you who were at the earlier session, I'm back. And I won't take up much time. I know we're running a little bit behind, but I am happy to be moderating this evening session and to be joined by, I will not read bios again for the sake of time. You can read them in your programs, but just know that we are delighted to be joined by two locally and internationally, both local and internationally known poets who we are very pleased and privileged to have with us, Sonny Patterson from New Orleans and Louisville's own Miss Hannah Drake. We told that this is supposed to be a front porch style conversation. So they're going to do their poetry, and I'm going to help facilitate a conversation at points because they have some profound things to say, and some of it needs to be unpacked a little bit. And so I'll just say, that's good. Say a little bit more about that. And just let them talk and then get right back into the poetry. I'm going to try to be out of y'all way. I'm just happy to be on stage with two brilliant poets such as these. So let me hand it over to Sonny Patterson and Miss Hannah Drake.
Thank you. Royalty. People of royal blood or status, you see, we be royalty. Every day we crown ourselves in regalia that you cannot understand. What is great becomes useless in the hands of common man, but we know from whence we came. So before Sonny and I slay this stage, put some respect on our name. You see, we be royalty. Our crown jewels were stolen. You see some things we can never get back. But try as you might, our royalty cannot be hijacked. You couldn't touch this if you could, cause on my mama, on my hood, I look fly, I look good. You can't even come close to our swag. We adorn ourselves in Kangos, cocked over left eyes and do-rags, handkerchiefs and wide brim ball caps. I might rock a 22-inch weave one day and the next day a head wrap. You see, we adorn ourselves in cornrows, afros, and locks, braids, kinky coils, and bantu knots. We adorn ourselves in black fist and afro picks, throwback jerseys, dashikis, and dickies, Chucks, and Air Force Ones. If you think we're doing the most, trust me, baby, we just begun. Don't get it twisted, cause I ain't fussing, but anytime I say Tim's, all y'all can do is tell me about Justin. We adorn ourselves in door knocker earrings, thick gold rope chains. When we speak, it be through Mansa Musa grills. We spit nothing but gold. We created our own language, able to linguistically switch it up and still stay on code. We be royalty. We greet each other with fist bumps and high fives. Give me some dap. Now on the black side, we don't shuck. We create our own jive. We made the hood our palaces. We sip Douce from diamond-encrusted pimp chalices as we eat beef patties, collard greens, and black-eyed peas. We be grandmamas under the sink jar of bacon grease. We dine on T-bone, steak, cheese, eggs, and Welch's grape. We dance to the rhythm of the djembe and the beat of the 808. I thought I told you that we won't stop. To this day, we know Ice Cube dropped a whole thesis when he said, what? Black police showing out for the white cop. Trust me, tonight I got time. When I spit a verse, I just might take you down a walk on a red line. Like Crump, we stay clowning. We be taking over for the 99 and the 2000. We surf, and we don't even need to be on water. We birth kings and queens, but we just call them our sons and our daughters. Y'all be so hype, but I know what y'all know what I'm talking about. This is pre-Trump Kanye spitting facts like when he was still a college dropout. And tonight, class is in session. We got PhDs in being black women, so get prepared for this lesson. We be royalty. You don't understand our ghetto crowns. We be those kings and queens bearing gifts, but you see we be royalty, not from the Orient, but of the sticks, of the south side of Chicago, of the Bronx, of New Orleans, of Compton, of the west side of Louisville. We be royalty. And tonight, welcome to our coronation. I love y'all back. Y'all like that? Let's get into it.
Louisville's own Miss Hannah Drake.
Thank you. We just gonna get into it real quick. So I had to get y'all a little excited, but we going down that road. And I wanted to first, before I read this particular poem, I wanted to show you all these bags that I made. And I showed them to Brandon, and I showed them to Sonny in the green. And I decided, let me get my papers together, but I decided to, can you get these bags for me, Brandon? To make these bags when I went to Mississippi. And before I was standing in the door of no return in Senegal. I was at Gorée Island. And I saw the side of slavery or freedom on that side, but they were enslaved standing in the doorway, and I wanted to see the other side of that here in America. So I ended up going to Mississippi, and I stood in a plantation, still a working plantation, and they have 1,800 acres of cotton. And they said, you can go to this field, Hannah, and pick the cotton. And I went out there and I started picking the cotton. And I asked to see the bag that the cotton was made in. And they showed me the bag, and most people think, or at least my mind did think, like a Kroger-sized bag. Show me this bag.
No.
And indeed, this is the bag that enslaved people would have to put cotton in. And I asked the plantation owner, well, how much cotton could fit in that bag? And she told me 70 pounds, and enslaved people were required to pick 200 to 300 pounds a day. So I was so devastated by that, and I came back, I went online and looked at how the trademark to make those bags, and I made them and screen printed them with poetry this poem I'm gonna read tonight, and images of my mother and my sister, who's here yelling because I can hear her. And when I talked to Mom, it was important for me to do this because when I talked to my mom's from Tennessee, and she told me, well, Hannah, when I was a little girl, I used to pick cotton. And my mother had never told me that story. My mother is 71. And from the age of 9 to 12, she picked cotton. And I just knew immediately that something about my mom had been lost in those cotton fields. Yeah. So I asked her, her grandmother would pick her up and take her, and I said, well, what is your grandmother's name? And she said, I can't remember her name. We only called her Mamie. Yeah. So I started digging and looking for enslaved women and girls named Hannah, and I started finding them. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna read this piece. Sonny's gonna hit y'all, and then Brandon will go with that. So, from the sense of its duty, I, Benjamin Dancy, do hereby emancipate and set free the following Negroes, reserving the service of one of them, Hannah, age 9, Amelia County, Virginia. During his lifetime, Benjamin Hendrick was seized and possessed. One Negro woman named Hannah. A bill of sale, Timothy Barham to John Norman, a woman named Hannah, age 26, sold for $875. North Carolina, May 20th, 1781, an inventory of the slaves of the estate of James Isbell, deceased, justly and truly given one Negro woman named Hannah, age 26. If I close my eyes, I can see them. And if I quiet myself, I can hear them. Their voices carry on the wind like a tune floating in the distant breeze. Who are you? And where did you come from? When you dreamed, what did you dream of? What is your story? What was your name before they gave you that name? Was my name passed down through our family? Am I your descendant? I stare at my face and I wonder if I look like you. I try to put pieces on faces in shadows? Can I find pieces of your memory in cotton fields and red mud? Is your story buried in a watery tomb? Is it among scattered bones and unmarked graves that attempted to erase you from history? But you were here. You were always here. You existed. And you were unknown no longer. I found your name. And I found me. And in finding you, I was able to find myself. Thank you.
So they come coffled and cuffed, their feet heavy with uncertainty. You can hear them breathing from miles away, shallow and short. Tethered souls don't know how to breathe deep, and auction blocks do not lend to comfortability, naked and frigid. Tar baby smooth like skin, lathered up real good to conceal any wounds. Now, you know massa like 'em free from disease, or at least appear to be quiet. Now, you know massa like 'em. Massa like 'em silent. And blocks do not lend to protest or chatter. Chattel have no say. Just smile big. Show them pearly teeth. Stretch, long, push, pull, parade, grope, fold, over, wide, open. Let us see from behind how much you are worth, how well you can work, how familiar, ancient, and new. New is new niggas for sale, fresh cargo. It's new niggas for sale, a lively stock. Don't you see them? Can't you hear it? In the whistle of the wind and the howl of the breeze and the pour of the rain. Can you taste it? Sugar cane sweet, indigo rich, rum-like intoxicating. There is something about suffering that makes men mad and makes others money. Something about others doing your dirty work that somehow seem to keep your hands clean and your conscience clear, clever. Oh, can't you smell it? Oh, it's in the seasoning. Something that makes them more tender, much more palatable, more suitable for enslavement. There is something in the breaking of a spirit that makes a better slave. Can't you feel it? In the thickness of injustice, in the gaze of despair, the click clank of cuff. They come coffled off the good ship. Jesus, it's the longest trip for the Africans, where rich men play with the lives of humans every day. Oh, yes, there is something. There is something about suffering that makes men mad and makes others rebel. You know, quite often, we don't like to touch on those parts. We had a conversation earlier where we spoke about these unsavory parts. Even now, just the time that we're in of COVID and pandemic and everything. Remember how with COVID, right, they said, well, if you have pre-existing conditions. And the reality is that America has had a pre-existing condition for a very long time. This thing of injustice, this thing of racism, this thing of ageism, this thing of every other ism that we can come up with. So we see this expansion of dis-ease, of illness. And I'm reminded, right, I think about Malcolm X. And I think about how, you know, it came up that even when we come together, even illness, can turn into wellness, we. right? Do we see that? That even illness can turn into wellness when we come together. This I can definitely turn into a we. But we first have to acknowledge that there has been a grave injustice that has been done. We first have to acknowledge that there has been a theft. I was about to say of property. But when we recognize that the lives of human beings has been recognized as property, so we have to say there has been a theft of life.
Come on. Come on.
Great ancestors, you are breath. You are a bridge. You carry us over tumultuous time. You who can hear and answer with quick remedy, you are ready before we ask. You who can speak through tongues of trees and fire and water, this earth cannot hold you. We pound the ground and you appear, O ancient ones. You who can make lightning strike with the flick of a skirt. You who can make tornado turn with the spin and span of hips, take us there to the place of knowing, to the hall that leads to the doorway of you, O holy ones, you of the first light, you who know the potential of possibility pulsing in the dark, deliver us unto our gifts. You who have sunlight in your fingertips, touch our drums, make us hear the rising, make us move a steady stump, a choir of voices so majestic, heaven hides us in a tapestry of light. Oh, we are stars, blankets of wonder, sky bright eyes seeing the invisible, visible. You who have returned, you have turned our faces so that we see ourselves, and we have found you again in places we would have never imagined. You make our limits infinitely long. Our vision is clearer with eyes closed, and even there, you still stand in full color, vibrant and eager to serve.
Yes.
You coming?
Yes. We had a plan, but the plan, I don't know. Yeah, we on the porch, so we. And I'm gonna read this piece, and things happen. And I just want to read this and then read something by Toni Morrison that's in my spirit, and then we just gonna do what we do. And I heard the song, I don't feel no ways tired.
Yeah.
But I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm really tired. My soul is tired. Okay? So this is called Fix It, Black Girl. Fix it, black girl. Fix us, black girl. Nurse us, black girl. Teach us, black girl. Be the help, black girl. Clean up our messes, black girl. Vote for us, black girl. Don't you complain, black girl. Let us touch your hair, black girl. It ain't pretty unless we say it's pretty, black girl. Give us your culture, black girl. Even better, we'll just steal it from you, black girl. Watch us flip it and become rich, black girl. Let us kill your sons and daughters, black girl. Don't you dare say a word about it, black girl. Who fights for you, black girl? Who will mourn for you, black girl? You better smile for us, black girl. Don't speak unless you've spoken to, black girl. Don't you make demands, black girl. Your presence makes me uncomfortable, black girl. Why are you so angry, black girl? Ignore your health, black girl. Put your life on the back burner, black girl. Help me fulfill my dreams, black girl. Stop taking up so much space, black girl. Be all things to all of us, black girl. Educate yourself on who we are, black girl. Be our cheerleader, black girl. You know what? Teach us not to hate you, black girl. Labor for our benefit, black girl. Let us tear it down and you rebuild it, black girl. Sweat for us, black girl. Dance for us, black girl. Be Venus Hottentot for us, black girl. Let us rape you, black girl. Who's gonna believe you anyways, black girl? Sing pretty for us, black girl. Entertain us, black girl. Build movements and watch us steal them, black girl. Let us co-opt your excellence, black girl. Just be satisfied, black girl. Give us your ideas for our profit, black girl. Work for free, black girl. Stay in your place, black girl. We saved you a seat in the back, black girl. You should be thankful just to be in the room, black girl. Move over, black girl. Disappear, black girl. Minimize, black girl. Shrink, black girl. Don't be so loud, black girl. Whisper, black girl. Just shut up, black girl. Ain't you tired, black girl? You see, in this here place, we flesh. Flesh that weeps and laughs, flesh that dances on bare feet in grass. Love it. Love it hard. Yonder, they do not love your flesh, they despise it. They do not love your eyes, they just as soon pluck them out. No more do they love the skin on your back. Yonder, they flayed and oh, my people. They do not love your hands. Love them, raise them up, kiss them, touch others with them, pat them together, stroke them on your face, because they do not love that either. You gotta love it. You gotta love you and know they ain't in love with your mouth. Yonder out there, they will see it broken and break it again. What you say out of it, they will not heed. What you scream from it, they will not hear. What you put in it to nourish your body, they will snatch away and give you levins instead. No, they do not love your mouth. You gotta love it. This is flesh I'm talking about here. Flesh that needs to be loved, feet that need to rest and dance, backs that need support, shoulders that need arms, strong arms, I'm telling you. And oh, my people, out yonder, hear me. They do not love your neck unnoosed and straight, so love your neck. Put hands on it, grace it, stroke it, and hold it up. And all your inside parts, they just as soon slop for hogs. You gotta love them. The dark liver, love it. And the beat and beating heart, love that too, more than eyes or feet, more than lungs that get to draw free air, more than life holding womb of your life-giving private parts. Hear me out, for this is the prize. Black people, you were always the prize. Black girl, you were always the prize. So black girl, find yourself, black girl. Know your worth, black girl. Don't settle, black girl. Breathe, black girl. Take care of yourself, black girl. Own your dopeness, black girl. Put yourself first, black girl. Love yourself. Black girl, dance in the rain. Black girl, embrace your body. Black girl, cry. Black girl, you don't have to be strong all the time. Black girl, rest. Black girl, own your creativity. Black girl, you are beautiful. Black girl, cherish all hues of you. Black girl, you have always been enough, black girl. Love who you desire. Black girl, don't let them use you. Black girl, stand in your truth. Black girl, I believe you. Black girl, I believe in you. Black girl, trust yourself. Black girl, stand up right, black girl, held head high. Black girl, be a champion for yourself. Black girl, you are loved. Black girl, be patient with yourself, black girl. Take up space. Black girl, take up all the space. Black girl, sing your song. Black girl, ride the wind. Black girl, soar. Black girl, be loud. Black girl, laugh. Black girl, love. Black girl, grow. Black girl, dream. Black girl, live. Black girl, and become black girl. Whew.
Because they wanted her piecemealed, paper mached, practically broken, limp-like, and loveless, a litany of exaggeration. They wanted her low and high, flat and wide, filled with all of their empty.
Come on.
They wanted her to be more like them, not knowing her conception was immaculate, that she was birthed in sandalwood scented river water, sweet sapphire, honey touched tongue. Look, she was too much of a mouthful for the greedy. Just a small amount of her was more than they could stand, or they wanted her bland and barren, unspirited, un-African, uncultured, under siege in the streets. They wanted her face down, ass up, hands cuffed and ankles strapped. They wanted her knowing she could never want them back, or they wanted her holy, baptized in her divine. They wanted her secrets, pearls to swine. They wanted to unravel the mystery of her design, fascinated by glory, hypnotized by her kind, or they wanted her complete. They wanted her whole, though they came fractioned, half-hearted, half soul, with no regards and no knowledge as to who she really was. Oh, but if they knew, oh my God, if they knew her, praise songs would rain from the clouds of their eyes, clearing the vision, bathing the heart. They would bow every time they saw her, be their best selves when she was around. If they knew her, knew she was the glue to their revolution, the life flow of blood through their veins. If they knew her, then she would know. But now him, in all his majesty and might, his brilliance and his beauty, his black and his blue, boy still slips from their lips when they address him. Still lingers in the velvet of his dreams, the seen unseen black boy fighting for manhood in a world that still sees through Jim Crow lens. Oh, them love him in his place. Yes, Lord. Separate, away, torn, disconnected, passive, submissive, and shuffling. Now just turn that shuffling into dancing, because you know them love black boys dancing and singing and bawling. Them love black boy's strength, but don't love black boy. Don't love black boy. Don't love black boy. So now him drifting in the wind, searching for himself in places that never allow him to be himself. So now black boy scared of his own shining black reflection, but we don't call you a son for nothing. Black boy radiates sacred wonder. We see you shining star in the mirror of your own eyes and ours. Your manhood is manna, it's sinew, it's potent, it's pure. Black boy proud of the black man he has become. We see you, a pillar in the place of crumbling remains. Oh, black man, you reign, an effervescent dew that awakes the world. We honor you and bear witness to your power. So now this is for those, right, who work 25 hours a day for 24 cents an hour. It's for those who trod the streets stress heavy, their feet strapped with anguish, backs bent with burden. It's for those who live between the lines of fear and confusion. It's for those whose eyes have witnessed the sunrise and they still question the awesome power of a supreme being. It's for those against the wall or in the dust or behind the bars or on the other side of the barrel. It's for those who do not see God in the mirror or a tree or a blade of grass, a homeless man, a crescent moon, a drop of dew, a ray of sun, or a purple sky. It is for those who have given up on life and just wonder how they are still allowed to open their eyes real wide in the morning. And I say to you, it is not yet time to die. For seekers of a better way, for speakers of new words, for creators of another day, awake from your slumber, massive in number, as brave as thunder, as courageous as hope, as audacious as faith. I see heaven in your face. How does it feel just knowing that wherever you go, the holiest of holies is present in the form of you? Oh my God, this is for you. It's for your worth. It's nothing less than divine. I'm saying this for all of those who survive, who get up, who scream, even when the takers try and zap their dreams, who shout no, who cry yes, who feel the glory of victory boiling in their chests. It's for the lovers of love, for thinkers of peace, for workers of justice, filled hands of freedom, whose voices ring high when vibrations are low. It's for the tillers of the earth, and the seeds they sow grow big, grow long, grow up, and grow high. Rise and take your stance, because it is not yet time to die. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Yes.
What an honor to be here with you.
It
And
is
you.
an honor to be here with you.
and y'all,
And
and on our porch. Just what an honor to celebrate these 25 years of this festival. To have, what does it say? Essential conversations on faith and race and everything that means, and the faith in the race and the race of the faith and everything that comes with all of those things, right? Because it's something when, where do you put your faith? That was questions that was asked earlier, right? Do we remember this? Where do you put your faith? Where do you put your love? Where do you put your peace? Those were questions that they asked us earlier. Do we remember that? You said no? Y'all said no? Oh, I thought y'all said no. I was about to say, now who was? I was making sure. Where do you put your faith? Where do you put your love? Where do you put your peace? In the symphony of sound, in the growl and screech of horn, in angel voice, in beat of drum, in ivory and ebony of piano, in pluck and strum of string, in twist of body, in shift of perspective, in soprano, alto, tenor, in every line of every poem and prose, of every tear shed, in every Hannah who came before the Hannah we hear now. Where do you put your faith? Where do you put your love? Where do you put your peace? Put it in me. Put it in you. Put it in you. Put it in you. Put it in you. And you. And you. And you. So before you know it, we have a room filled with nothing but faith, with nothing but love, with nothing but peace. It's sometimes hard to envision a world where we can see those things. But then I'm reminded of what that means to envision something. It doesn't just mean to see something, but it means to wrap yourself in the sight of the thing. To be encompassed by the vision. So now the question bears, what really is the vision? Now the other thing comes. What have you done with your day to put towards the vision?
That's right.
How often have we given hours and hours and hours on end to a system,
Come on.
to a country, to a workforce that is in no way, shape, nor form a believer in our vision? And then we wonder why. Back again to disease, back again to illness, back again to stress,
Come on.
back again to anxiety, back again to all of the things that make us shrink. But we have to be reminded, be loud, don't shrink. Everything that you told us, laugh, love, everything, celebrate. And it sometimes seems hard to celebrate when we've been under the tutelage
Come on.
of destroyers for such a very long time. So I have to ask. So I have to say, not even ask. I don't want to ask this. I want to say this. I want to tell you this. I want to demand this. This is what I want to do. I want to command this even. That when you go home, I don't care if it's 1 minute or 1 hour, but that you dedicate time to the vision. Can you imagine if everyone truly dedicated some time to the vision? Intentional time. Some people say, well, I try to meditate. I try to do these things. What they call it, monkey mind? Well, you're like, okay, I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna close my eye. Just start with a minute. You know how much change can come with just one intentional minute? I get chills thinking about it. Dedicate just one to the collective vision of love and faith and joy and hope and peace and compassion and tolerance and understanding. All of these things, I can guarantee that we can shift the thing. No, I guarantee we can shift a thing. But do we believe that we have that kind of power? If we believe that we are connected to the one, the all-powerful, omnipotent one. See, we say these words.
Come on.
But now we have to get to, do we really believe this thing? Because this is a time where our beliefs, our brother told us that, the composer, our beliefs, what really do we believe? We can say poems all day, we can even pray all day and all of these things, but the reality is that, do I believe this thing?
Yes, yes.
So to take just an intentional moment to dedicate it to the collective vision, to dedicate it to collective peace, to dedicate it to, here's the F word. I'm getting ready to say an F word. Forgiveness. You know, that's a nasty word now. So I want to offer a definition of forgiveness that says, I'm for giving up an old notion of myself in order to gain a new perspective. That takes power out of an oppressor's hands and puts it in mine. So I'm for giving up an old notion of myself in order to gain a new perspective. I feel like I could dedicate some time to that kind of thing. Do y'all think that?
I think so.
Can you do that? Can you love yourself enough to dedicate time to yourself and your vision? We work a whole lot at organizing other people's stuff. I heard someone say, they said that we go around doing so many good things that we don't do our best thing. They said, and before you know it, you're helping someone do
They're fine.
their good thing. You're not even helping them do their best thing. We're helping do a good thing and not a best thing. And what happens is that we spend so much time doing whatever the good thing is. It was something because what it came up was, they said, the person said the opposite of right is not wrong. The opposite of right is good. I said, well, now, what does that mean? That's what it was. Not best thing. It wasn't best thing, right thing. They said, I said, well, what really does that mean about this right thing, but all of these things? And it said that it was just that. We're so busy doing all of these good things that we're not doing our right thing.
Come on, come on.
That makes more sense. But then again, our right thing is our best thing. So here it is, to put some intention to doing our right thing. So now, again, that's the question. What is your right thing? What is your best thing? What really is your vision? How do you wrap yourself inside of it? How do you hold yourself? And how do we hold you to it? Because that's what the friend does. Sometimes we're so close on a thing that we can't see it, right? It's like if you put your hand to your face and we say, well, describe your hand. And you're like, well, I think I got a mole on this part. We can't always do it. So the beauty of community, the beauty of the friend is to say, nah, you got this right here, you got such and such, you got this. So we need one another in this way because we hold one another accountable. Not just hold one another accountable, we hold one another, period. So I can say that I'm grateful to be in a space of people who are intentionally holding others. And not in some kind of, like the old shirts would say, he's not heavy, he's my brother. Yeah, that kind of way, I guess. But really, like this is real, this is light work. Like real light work. Our sister said darkness works overtime. So the thing about light, the beauty about light, is that all it takes is one little speck. And not even that. Even when you're in the dark, do you notice how your eyes tend to adjust? And you want, and it appears as if, did a light come on? We kind of think this sometimes. So then it's like, well, where does the light come from if it's a room full of darkness? It's got to come from inside of you. So here's to your light. Here's to what is already in you. So I think our job, whatever that job, our job is to remind you of that. What a fantastic job to have. To remind others of light. To remind ourselves of light. To remind ourselves that God is the greatest light. To remind ourselves that outside of it, what else really is there? I guess there is some other thing, but I don't know if it matters. Maybe. What you say?
I love me.
I'm moderating. I was taking over your job.
Listen, sometimes you got to know when to get out the way
I'm
and let the Spirit move.
We needed you here.
No, I'm just glad. I'm just on the front porch. Just
we on
listening
the porch.
in on the conversation.
Yeah.
I choke on the thought that I could actually love myself. That I could speak those words out loud and birth them into the universe. That I could conjure up the belief that I am lovable and let I love me flow from my lips. The words are like thick paste swirling over my tongue, the thought hard to swallow and even harder to regurgitate and say, I love me.
Yeah.
So I mouth them slowly, watch my lips form the words, almost afraid to look at my reflection in the mirror. It is wrong to love me. I've convinced myself because my life has been tainted that loving me is not an option. You see, I had self-love stolen from me in an instance when I thought I could love. So instead of loving me, I hated me. And my mind constantly reminded me that I was unworthy of self-love. Because who could ever love me when I reeked of self-hate, which permeated my inner self? And the stench of my hungover past, it oozed from my pores like leprosy and infected anyone that came near me with my inner negativity. Yet I whispered them, I love me.
Yeah.
And still my conscience is not so convinced or even mildly persuaded. How could I believe that I was lovable when my soul bore graffiti like a New York subway with words unmentionable?
Yeah.
And the question rings out again. Do you love yourself?
Yeah.
The question clouded by memories that I fought to forget, yet they linger over my conscience, reminding me that I am unworthy of self-love. So I attempt to meet the question with more deceit. You see, lying to myself is sadly commonplace. The outward mask of who I am once concealed my fear and my pain and my frustration. I lied to myself for so long that for a brief second, I believed those lies and could not face the truth of my self-sabotaging behavior. As I look beyond my exterior and gaze into my interior, I can no longer conceal my truth. I do not recognize this decoy staring back at me. She is my social doppelganger. The woman that smiles and pretends that in her outward beauty she is confident, but you see inwardly, she and I know she is broken. I cannot lie to her because her eyes are my eyes and she is on display. Surface attributes faded away. There are no adornments here. Broken, discouraged, confused, lonely, raw, open, honest, just me in my reflection. so I say them out loud. I love me. The words foreign to my ears, a voice of strength and courage, a voice I do not recognize. I am lovable. You are lovable, Hannah. And I fight and I fight and I fight daily through the tears to believe that I am worthy of loving myself. Disregarding the tears that fall silently on my face, because in one word, acceptance, I can see that I am lovable. Allowing acceptance of my imperfections, knowing that imperfections makes life interesting, makes life worth living, makes life worth loving, makes me worth loving. I am lovable. Recognizing that no one can love me better than I love myself, because I have been given beauty for my bruises, that my storms only allow my destiny to be irrigated into fruition, that my pain was to reveal my divine purpose, that my weaknesses allowed God to be strong, that the scars that crisscross and form calluses over my soul were only to make me stronger. My flaws are a sign of triumph, my pain now a symbol of victory. Do you love yourself? This time, the answer is not shadowed by lies, but spotlighted by the truth. Yes, I do. So I shout them. I love me.
I love you too.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love both of y'all.
This is a
I'm
lo-
glad
this-
to be up here. Listen,
This is a love
this
fest.
is a beautiful conversation, and it could go all night. We're already over time a little bit here, and so we have just a few minutes left. If we could offer our maybe concluding, parting thoughts,
Concluding parting thoughts.
or words, or poems, or however y'all want to move.
All of that. One thing is, can we turn these lights up? Can we turn the out here lights up? Look at you.
Look at y'all.
Look at you. We're going to do a very awkward thing. Look at the person next to you. Like, look at them. Look at them. Look at them so much so where you see yourself in their eyes. You know why I love this? Because it always creates uncomfortability. You know how they say eyes are the mirrors? Some people say windows, some say mirrors, right? So this is why I'm asking you. Look at that person and really try to see yourself. See if you can see yourself. We're just going to take a few seconds. See if you can see yourself. Look and keep the stare. Keep the gaze. Keep it going. Keep it going. This is when I get people that say, I don't really do the eye-to-eye thing. So Hannah has given us a directive. But really, she's asked the question, do you love yourself? Tell yourself, I'm saying yourself because you've seen yourself in this person's eyes. Tell yourself, look at yourself again in this person. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. I'm counting down. It's a few seconds. Isn't this good? You see the amount, you see the amount of nervousness this kind of thing brings when we're talking about this aspect of seeing yourself. Seeing yourself not just in another's eyes, but seeing yourself as the other. To be able to say, I love you.
I love you.
I love you. To be able to say this, to be able to see yourself this way, to be able to say this, This is like a real revolutionary kind of move.
Yes.
Because it's not often, again, that we are looking in someone's eyes.
Come on.
It's often we're not seeing another person, let alone saying, I love you. It's sometimes hard for us to look in a mirror
Yes.
and say, I love you. Not some whimsical kind of love, but a real transformative kind of love. A real something that can shift and shake the world. But it takes work.
Yeah.
It takes a certain kind of courage. It takes a certain kind of heart. I was watching some people work on a bridge. I said, man, for people to work on a bridge and things like this, you cannot be afraid of heights at all. I'm like, I could never do this kind of work. But the reality is that what it is that we just did, it requires you to not be afraid of heights. It requires you to go higher.
Come on.
It requires you to go lower. It requires you to go in. It requires you to go out. Either way, you're gonna have to address the fact that this is really about what really am I seeing? How do I see? Am I really seeing myself where I turn? And if that's the case, am I really seeing God wherever I look? Then we discover, I'm not as spiritual as I thought. This is a call, truly, for us to discover more of ourselves, to love all of the parts of ourselves that we've been saying this before. If you were here for the first talk, that thing of these unsavory parts. And then our sister Alexis came and said, well, you know what? Maybe the unsavory parts really are the savory parts, right? Because they're the parts that can bring the most amount of salt. No pun intended. You know how they say there's salt in the game and all these kinds of things. But that's an important piece. So this is for us when we leave from this space, as we're in the space, but then when we leave from the space, that we really take a good look at ourselves, whether it's in the mirror on our walls or in the mirror of someone else's eyes. Let us see love. Let us see peace. Let us see tolerance. Let us see some grace. Let us see some compassion. Let us see some understanding. Let us see ourselves. I can guarantee, if we can do these things in this way, what can you lose? Nothing but your ego. Nothing but hate. Nothing but misunderstanding. I think we're worthy enough to be, exclamation point. So here's to your being. Here's to your love. Here's to your knowing more of yourself. Here's to you.
That is our time for the evening. Please join me again in thanking Sonny Patterson and Louisville's own Miss Hannah. Thank y'all for just letting me sit on the front porch.
And Brandon.
God bless you and good night.